All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So I'm back from Cancun, and we're going to talk about Kamaru Usman, Canelo Alvarez, Ali Abdelaziz, the UFC, and everything going on there, because I was watching that the whole week while I was gone, laughing at how simple and yet complex this whole thing is, because Kamaru Usman and Canelo are back and forth, dog, back and forth on Twitter. Hey, I don't want someone to get hurt here, bro. You insulted my manager. Yeah, it's not going to be me that gets hurt. If I try to do a Canelo Alvarez, like half, Spanish accent, I'm going to sound like a complete idiot. So, I'm just not going to do that. But yeah, Ali tried to punk Canelo punking Ali, and then Kamaru coming to Ali's aid, and then, Canelo come back, and then Kamaru's like, oh, so I'm going to hurt you, dog. And then Canelo's all, well, you ain't going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. And I'm like, well, I guess it depends on what sport you guys fight in. So, funny stuff. And then you got the UFC in the background, obviously not super soaked to do a Kamaru versus Canelo fight. Canelo and Kamaru doing his best job to try to, sell that thing. And then you got Francis over here in England, like, oh, you're not going to promote a boxing match? How you like me now, dude? How about I do my own boxing match? What's up, dude? Hell of a fucking week to be gone, dude. Hell of a week to be gone. So we're going to talk about all that, right? So this is my return video. So you better buckle in, son. But before I do, I want to show you guys something. So I just got back today, right? And I want to name two sponsors real quick, because first of all, here's my first shipment from Yo Kratom. That's a $60 kilogram right there. $60, dude. $60, okay? YoKratom.com. Go get it. That's right. Now, let's also talk about IPVanish, because I used IPVanish this entire week, dude. Like, don't be fast forwarding because it's an ad, dude. Don't do it. Because look, I just went to Mexico. While I was in Mexico, I couldn't watch any of my shows. None of them. I couldn't watch them none of them. None of them. Okay? Now, what I was able to do is I was able to go on IPVanish, turn it on, and then say that I was in Houston when I was actually in Cancun, and boom, I'm available. I can see everything I want to see. That's the least of the things you can do with IPVanish. Okay? So you can avoid creeps. And you can tell anybody that you want that you are wherever you want. You want to be in Spain, you're in Spain. You want to be in Holland, you're in Holland. You want to be in, Houston when you're in Mexico, you're in Houston in Mexico, okay? Like, the point is, you don't want people to be able to triangulate where you are. Like, seriously, I know you think you're a nobody. You're not a nobody. You don't want people knowing where you are. You do not want that, okay? IPVanish.com/Jesse, promo code Jesse, Jesse for both. You get 70% off. Get on it. Do it. Anyway, so let's talk about this thing. So here's the deal, dude. So when I first started watching this, you want to know what my favorite insult of all time is? Like, my favorite. Now, look, let me just say in advance, I'm cool with Ali Abdelaziz. Ali Abdelaziz and I have had conversations. He and I are cool. I like Ali. I think he does an incredible job. And I'm saying that in advance because I am going to laugh about Canelo Alvarez's response, just because I always think that's the best response ever. Like, there is no better response than, who the fuck is that guy? Only if you're in a position to not know who they are, Like, Canelo Alvarez, obviously, I'm sure knows who Ali Abdelaziz is. If he doesn't, that would be kind of weird. But nonetheless, if you're in a position to pretend you don't know who that guy is, like, you think Conor McGregor didn't know who Jeremy Stephens is? Like, seriously, do you think that Conor McGregor didn't know who Jeremy Stephens is? Who the fuck is that guy? Okay, of course he knows who he is. But that's the best insult there is, dude. Like, it's just because a person who's running their mouth, you always run your mouth from a position of like, I'm in a position to run my mouth, dude. Yeah, like, I can do that, especially in this environment. And so when Canelo responded to Ali Abdelaziz saying that he's a chicken for not fighting, blah, 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 whatever, and he goes, who the fuck is this guy? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I'm sure Ali didn't think it was hilarious, but like I said, I like Ali. This has nothing to do with him, to be honest. It's just about the insult. Like, it's the best insult there is. Who the fuck is that guy? Hilarious, dude. And then Kamaru was like, hey, Kamaru and Ali, all the guys on Ali's team and Ali are like super close. They're like a tight little family. That's why you don't hear about guys, except for Khamzat Chimaev, which he was like there for a minute. But like, any of those core guys, you never hear about those guys looking around for new management. The only thing you hear is like when someone tries to come in and like, steal one of their guys, like, I can't remember. I should have looked this up beforehand. Where like one of the first round management guys tried to snake one of Ali's guys, and they put him on blast on Twitter. And they were like, I'm good, dude. I'm with the best manager in the business. Like, they've got a tight group over there, like a tight family. I haven't seen a bunch of guys leave there, if any. I don't want to say none because of Khamzat, but who knows what the hell's going on with that guy? Fucking the Chechnyan dictator was probably like, nah. You can't be with anyone from Dagestan. Okay? These got Dagestanis on that team. Anyway, so Canelo initially pretends like he doesn't know who he is. Kamaru comes back. He's all, why don't you just relax before someone gets hurt? And Canelo's like, yeah, I know. It's not going to be me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, here's something that people need to keep in mind. This is actually a really important thing to note, okay? When it comes to Canelo and Kamaru going back and forth, the way people are interpreting this, right? The way they're interpreting this is like Canelo is on a whole other level from Kamaru, right? Like, and the reason for that is because they're trying to get Canelo to box them, right? They're trying to get Canelo to box them. They're not talking about them just like getting in a fight. That's what you guys need to like seriously, like, because I had a moment there where like when Kamaru was all, yeah, before someone gets hurt, and Canelo's all, yeah, it's not going to be you. I was like, dude, Kamaru, you don't want it. And then I was like, wait, what? And I thought about it. I'm like, wait, they're not talking about a sport now. Like, hey, someone get hurt. Yeah, it's not going to be me. We haven't talked about it. We haven't talked about a rule set. I think you guys are just running their mouths now. And so if you're in just run your mouth territory, then you're in a street fight. And guess what? The dynamic changes real quick in a street fight, dude. Okay? Canelo against Kamaru in a boxing match is an outlandish mismatch, which is why everybody's just kind of like, okay, I mean, if you want to go get that money, go get that money. But Canelo's going to piece you up in boxing. He's going to make you hurt, and then he's going to put you down like he does to every other person. But as soon as you're talking outside of boxing, you guys really think that Canelo versus Kamaru in a no rules fight, that Canelo wins that fight? I don't. I mean, it's possible because it's going to start on the feet and with bare hands, Canelo, if you try to throw a punch at Canelo, it's likely that he wins that fight. Like if you try to throw a single punch at him, it is very likely that he wins. So I would assume Kamaru's not stupid enough that if they were in a street fight to like jump in with some, like try to initiate some kind of striking exchange, unless he tried to kick him or something. Because, before you realize what you're up against, Canelo's going to slip and he's going to hit you with a bare hand and you're going to be like, whoa. But nonetheless, in a no rules fight, Kamaru kicked the shit out of Canelo. We all know that. Like if they get in the octagon, come on, Kamaru's going to take him down. He's going to beat him to death. Well, or beat him until someone pulls him off. Probably. I would love to find out, dude. I would love to find out. I'm just saying I would love to find out. But the UFC is very apprehensive about doing this fight because, again, for the 100th time, here is the real reason the UFC does not want to do a Canelo Alvarez versus Kamaru fight when they would make lots of money. And it's the same reason they don't want to do a Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury fight, even though they might not have a choice now. Okay, they might not have a choice to be involved in it. Like they might want to do it now and they might not be able to. But the reason they don't want to do the Kamaru and Canelo one is simple. Okay, what are the optics? Okay, what are the optics? Optics matter. Like bad optics have bad outcomes. Okay. Here are the optics for those of you who don't understand. The optics are if you get to be a big enough star in UFC, you can go into that other sport to make real money. Okay. Like if you get to be big enough, you can go make your real money over there outside of the UFC. How is that a good thing for the UFC? It's the worst possible thing for the UFC. Because that means that every time someone becomes a big star, which is what drives their entire company's value, they're looking external. They're all, oh man, listen, I like the UFC and shit, but I want to make real money, dog. How many more fights do I have on my contract? They're all 2. It's like, I think I can win both those fights, get out of my contract and go do that. How is that good for the UFC? How? It's not. The UFC's business model is to keep the whole sport self-contained. You can't have another combat sport where people go get all their money from. So that's why. Now, a real insider said they might not have a choice. They might have to do the Kamaru and Canelo fight, maybe, because of Francis. Because Francis is going to do this Tyson Fury fight. Like, that's going to happen. And so, Kamaru is company man. So, like, they might have their hands tied. They may have to go do it. And I would love that because I would love to see all those fights. I want to see every fight. I want to see every single fight. Yeah. And if they did that in MMA gloves, Nelly. Good Lord. Canelo in MMA gloves? Give it to me, son. Give me that fight. Give me that fight, dog. Give me that motherfucking fight. Anyway, I'm back, son, and I got more videos today. Peace.